I'm going to replace the back caliper on my wife's 2006 Ford Explorer. The back caliper is not releasing. Kind of see there's no gap. This one has a slight gap, but it's not releasing. It's squeaking when you go down the road. Alright, gonna start with that. Things you will need. You'll need a clamp, a 14mm socket, a 10mm socket, brake cleaner, N.3. Go ahead and get a turkey baster. You will need a 10mm wrench to bleed the brakes, a hose for the actual bleeding of the brakes, and some type of vessel to hold it into. And paper towels always help. Alright guys, let's get this going. Start by removing the brake fluid, .3 brake fluid. It's pretty messy, pretty dirty I should say. Alright, so I'm just going to take turkey baster and fill her up and dump it on over. Alright, so again, just fill up the turkey baster. I'm ready to empty this all the way out. Okay, pretty well drained. There's a little bit still in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the calipers and push in the piston, so we actually push more brake fluid into the reservoir. So I'm going to place it on, pull off 2 bolts, but I already made a video, place it up here for you guys. Go and watch the video if you don't know how to take off the brake caliper or the brake pads. Pushing this piston much as I could, something's clearly wrong with it. Disconnect it from up here, it's easy to work on. Go and take off this little cover, get to the nipple, and go ahead and bleed the brakes. Bleed out the remainder, what's inside of it. And then since I pushed the piston in, come on up here and see how much is in the reservoir. Nothing came up really, just a little bit. Gonna start bleeding the brakes. 10mm bolt, go and loosen it. Get a tube directly to here, get it going. Alright guys, here we go. I loosen this with the ratchet. Go ahead and just loosen her up. Drained off through the nipple, got most of it. Probably gonna save a little bit more. Gonna take off this bolt, which is the main actual tube to your brake fluid. So make sure you have a vessel or something to catch the remaining fluid. Shouldn't be very much, but probably gonna be a little bit still in there, dripping a little bit. It's 14mm bolt. Here's a brake caliper. Make sure the new one is the same. Here we go. Look identical. Alright, stall her up and make sure they're the same. There's a right and a left. Make sure nipples, same spot. Here's the right side rear. Alright, just make sure it's the same. Look fine. Alright, get these out, which is very easy. Pretty much just push on them. There you go. Go ahead and wipe these down and lube them back up. Apply a little bit of lube. Not a lot, just a little bit. Rub her down. Alright, and then to put into the actual little holster, gonna put out an angle and kind of twist. Twist to get them around this little, hands are lube and slimy. There you go. And then I'll push it through. Alright, make sure you get both sides evenly covered. Like that. Alright, so you got 1, 2, and make sure it moves back and forth smoothly. And that's it. Make sure you remove that. That's where the 14mm bolt is going to go into. Go ahead and install. And today I'm doing both tires, so now I have to jack up the other side. I'm going to use my other jack I have and start working on the other tire so I can bleed them. We're installing, I forgot to mention this last video, go ahead and lube up these rails with the same brake loop. Kit also comes with these copper washers, which go on both sides of the 14mm bolt. Go ahead and pry these off and keep this one off, and tighten it back down. Go ahead and put the copper washers on both sides. And go ahead and put her in and tighten her down. And you are ready to fill your reservoir and bleed the back brakes. Alright guys. Just make sure you tighten this down. 14mm. Just tighten it down a little bit. Hooked up. Going to fill the reservoir decently high right now. We need to bleed them. I need to get someone else to help me so I can pump the brakes and make sure this does not go empty. Bled the back brakes. Cover the nipple back up, and I'm going to move to the front brakes. Get the jack car up and bleed them off. Just make sure we have no air bubbles. The brakes. Right. You need a 10mm wrench. Same thing on the other ones. Tell the person to push on the brakes. You open the valve, and they tell you when it's down, so you close the valve hopefully before they actually push all the way down. Alright guys, here we go. Go. Down. Okay, release. Ready? Yeah. Go. Down. Okay, now we got liquid going through. Let's do it 2 more times. We are done. Yeah. Need to put the tires back on. Successfully bled all the brakes. But go ahead and pat yourself on the back. You just saved yourself anywhere from $500 to $1,000. Matty on the shop. But we successfully.